My name is Lucy Beatrix, and I'm a fashion model turned competitive athlete. Women's Health decided to tell my story about how changing the way that I eat fueled me to step into this new identity as a competitive athlete living here in New York City. I wasn't an athlete growing up. I wasn't sporty. I never did anything remotely physical. I even was exempt from PE class because I just didn't like to move my body. I came to New York City in 2007 working as a fashion model. I did pretty well for myself. I was on the cover of different magazines, and I worked for catalogs. I worked for beauty companies. I'd say I had a pretty amazing, cool career. I didn't know how to eat. I had no idea how to cook or even just buy basic things that didn't have a barcode on them. I basically just filled my body with a lot of processed crap. Depending on the season, I could be traveling once or twice a week. I was going back and forth to the East and West Coast. I would get a call and in a moment's notice be suddenly traveling out of the country. And while I'd be traveling like that, I would just eat whatever I could find. So if I was in the airport, I would treat myself to something like McDonald's, just because I figured, I'm traveling. I didn't think that it would matter, but it wasn't long before the way that I was eating all of this processed crap started to catch up with me. That's when my agency sat me down and said, look, we see you and we don't see the girl that we originally signed. We don't see that spunky, enthusiastic, excited girl. So they saw this shift, and so much of it had to do with how I was eating because I wasn't taking care of myself. So I made a really big change, and I started to put things in my body that I felt served me and made me look and feel my best. I found myself having all this energy and I didn't know what to do with it. I started running. I'll never forget when Hurricane Sandy blew through New York City. I went down to the treadmill in my gym where I was living at the time. And I hopped on the treadmill and I ran for 10 miles straight. That was the furthest I'd ever run in my life. I remember this feeling that I had, and I felt so great that I decided to just do that again and again and again. And a couple of years later, I got pretty good at running 10 miles and ended up running 10 miles in under an hour and just started getting pretty competitive about my running. Honestly, I credit all of this, all of my athletic accomplishments, to that shift that I made to a predominantly plant-based diet. Over time, as I fine-tuned and tweaked my diet more and more, I realized that this way of eating was only fueling me to run faster and further. I even ran 76 miles in a single day. Eating this way has taught me so much about the athletic ability that I never even knew that I had. What I mean when I say plant-based is that the majority of what I eat is fruits, vegetables, tofu, legumes, nuts. Be sure to check out the article that Women's Health wrote about my transformation from fashion model to plant-based athlete. Also, I have a weekly training series where I am showing my entire build-up for a big race that I have at the end of February. I put out videos every week on both my Instagram TV and YouTube channel. And yeah, eat plants, run fast.